What happens to a tenant's security deposit if rent is late? Imagine you're a tenant and your rent is a few days late. You might wonder what happens to your security deposit if the rent isn't paid on time. Well, let's break it down. When rent is late, the handling of your security deposit depends on your lease agreement and local laws. Usually, a landlord can deduct unpaid rent or late fees from your security deposit if the rent remains unpaid when you move out. The security deposit is mainly meant to cover unpaid rent, damages beyond normal wear and tear, or other charges you owe under the lease. Most lease agreements specify whether late rent or late fees can be deducted from your deposit. If they do, the landlord must follow legal rules about how much they can deduct and when. For example, they typically need to give you an itemized list of deductions within a certain time frame after you leave, often within 30 days. If they don't, they might face penalties. It's important to remember that your security deposit isn't a backup for late rent payments during your tenancy. Paying rent late doesn't automatically mean your deposit will be used. If you pay the late rent before you move out or before the lease ends, the landlord should return your deposit minus any legitimate deductions. But if rent is still unpaid when you leave, the landlord can take that amount from your deposit. They must follow legal procedures when making deductions. This means providing you with a detailed list of what was taken out and why. If they don't, they could be penalized, sometimes having to pay you back double the amount or cover your legal costs. To keep everything clear, rental managers should communicate rent due dates and late payment policies clearly. When rent is late, they should notify you promptly and keep records of all payments and notices. At the end of your tenancy, they need to do a thorough inspection and give you a detailed statement of any deductions from your security deposit, including unpaid rent or late fees. In summary, if your rent is late and remains unpaid at the end of your lease, your landlord can usually deduct that unpaid rent and any late fees from your security deposit. But remember, your deposit isn't meant to be a reserve for paying rent during your stay. It's there to cover damages and other costs you owe when you leave. Following the rules and laws ensures both tenants and landlords are protected and treated fairly.